Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Podsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Podsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament of the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version in order to put together the prophecy of Israel, which is the book of Zion. In order to publish the book of Zion, which is part of the prophecy, I had to write the Podsmoker's Bible, which is its commentary. It's the only way I could publish it because the book of Zion is written entirely in Bible verse, so not my own words. Now, at first, I published the entire book, Potsmoker's Bible, with its companion book, the Book of Zion, on YouTube at Potsmoker's Bible, all lowercase. You can video view the entire book there for free, and I'm doing it again for social media, so that everyone in the world has an opportunity to hear exactly what God has to say about our current situation. And our current situation is all about the prophecy, as you will learn when you video view the books. So I'm going to take up where I left off, which is chapter 11 of the Potsmoker's Bible. And it contains the 8th chapter of the Book of Zion. It's called A Seed Shall Serve Him. And it goes like this. This chapter is about marijuana, pure and simple. The plant is described. The parts that are used to smoke is described. The act of smoking it is written. How we are persecuted for it is described too. And the effects of it are written also. This chapter describes the people who use pot. Their attitude towards religions is told. It tells us about how we do our own thing. It also tells us the price that we pay for doing what to us comes natural. It talks about how much we love our pot and our parties. This chapter also introduces us to the war on drugs. We are told of the sorrow of our harvest when our plants are confiscated. We are told this happens because of the Zionites' disregard for the gray. Um, it tells how prophecy is written about us is ignored because of our scorn for the concept of religion. We reject God because we reject religion, so we are punished for it by way of the war on drugs. Marijuana is the key to the prophecy. It is the tool used by the Grey to create a telepathic human ethnic group. You see, according to Hindu scriptures, marijuana comes from the Grey's homeworld. It nourishes our Grey anatomy. There are two cannabinoid lymphatic systems in our bodies. Only hemp and marijuana interact with these systems. It is the activation of these gray lymph nodes that um, that is that awakes our gray organs. Without marijuana, we're just ordinary humans. This gray world plant has been modified to grow here on Earth. Up until the cloning program started, it was the food of the gods. Before the flood, it and many other plants were also part of our diets. But after the flood, the Grey only allowed marijuana and hemp to be reintroduced to humanity. These two gray plants were recreated for our human use. The reason why this plant is so vital to the future of humanity is that it alone activates the gray part of our anatomy. Our gray self is an advanced hybrid. It has the same abilities as the gray possess. The gray use energy the way humans use tools. Our bodies begin producing this energy when we activate the gray genes. This the first time we get high, in other words. This energy field is electromagnetic. It interacts with the energies of everyone and everything in our environment. This is the energy that creates psychic abilities like telepathy, empathy, mediumship, and a host of others. The activation of this energy field connects to everything that is. This makes the pot smoker, in a sense, true humans. We alone have both parts of our heritage active. Our Neanderthal DNA is responsible for most of our body parts. Our gray DNA advances that body, giving us a more efficient system that will no doubt give us longevity, because one of our gray organs heals our cells, keeping us healthy. The other system, dealing with THC, gives us higher gray brain functions. This makes us exactly what the Gray intended when they created us in the first place. But I'm not bragging. Just think about how my people have suffered over the past 100 years. We have been humbled like we have been hunted like prey. Everything we own is taken from us, even our children. We are taken to trial for possessing a plant and selling it to our friends. We are imprisoned for it, and all we want to do is get high. This seed that shall serve God is a seed. It grows a plant that comes from their homeworld of the gray aliens who created our race. It activates our gray anatomy and allows us to connect with the aliens that are our relations. And they are the ones our religions called God. Those of us who have found this plant have gone through 100 years of captivity and been refined into a nation that is acceptable to the gray. With this seed, we too become gray. But becoming gray is harder than it sounds. We were created in a society that rejects the gray and believe in myths that their forefathers created. We had to reject society in order to learn the truth. We were taught a better way by being allowed to learn the hard way. Our lives have been harder because society also rejects us. It was through hardship that we learned to be more like the gray. This refining of our intellect and our morality has been an ordeal. The closer we come to being gray, the more we are hated by those who are normal. This is because we begin to reject childish things like war and wealth. We also begin to manifest gray abilities. Those who haven't used marijuana see the changes in us and envy us, our health and happiness. When these gray traits begin to manifest in the 60s, this new people Zion began to come together. The hippie movement was the first attempt of my people to coalesce into our true selves, but we did not yet know who or what we had become. We only knew that we were opposed to war, and we thought joy more important than money. Our gray DNA had changed our priorities and made us unique. Our appearance in the 60s was a slap in the face of society. We were everything that they claimed to be. We manifested the traits of the Essenes, becoming like Jesus and John. We even looked like Jesus with our long hair. This angered the Christians who had rejected the Essene Jesus. We reminded them that they were not truly as good as they thought they were. This revelation for our affront to society, the government uh, amped up its efforts to eradicate us. The war on drugs became a true war against an innocent people whose only true crime was to become the best people that they could be. and in so doing, forced the rest to confront their own moral failings. We became prey. Laws were passed to strip us of our rights. A declaration of war was made to make us a separate people, an enemy of the state. We were made into criminals that were then hunted down and imprisoned. And worst of all, the government forced my people to either give up everything and be imprisoned, or forced another of our friends to lose everything of theirs. This cruel practice of passing the blame tried and failed to break our bond of unity. Those who are too weak have chosen to renounce their gray brothers in order to remain as a part of this society. We call these weaklings narcs. They are the worst of our people. Chapter 8 of the Book of Zion begins with Micah 5:3. Chapter 8, a seed shall serve him. Micah 5:3. Zion 8:1. Therefore will I give them up until the time that she which travaileth hath brought forth. Then the remnant of his brethren shall return unto the children of Israel. Micah 5:3 tells us that they let the people of Zion remain free to do as they please until Zion herself appears to teach them the truth of their identity. So they had to wait for Zion to offer herself as servant. Then she would teach them their true identity, and they would then freely embrace Israel. Isaiah 27:6, Zion 8:2. He shall cause them of Jacob to take root. Israel shall blossom and bud, and fill the face of the earth with fruit. This explains the seed of Israel, the marijuana seed, takes root and grows. It blossoms and buds and fills the earth with fruit. This fruit is the herb we smoke. This seed identifies the user as an Israelite. All those who enjoy this plant are claimed by the Gray as part of the family of Abraham, always keeping the promise that through the family of Israel, the Gray would interact with humans. This plant is claimed by Israel, by the Gray. Isaiah 11:10, Zion 8:3. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. Isaiah 11:10 continues, this plant will be the root of Jesse, the father of David, the true king of Israel. So we know that the true king of Israel gets high. It is for gray humans to rule the nation of Israel and Zion. Israel will be given a king from among the Jewish bloodline of Jesse. This king will be a Zionite also. This Jewish pot smoker will stand up to be an ensign for the people. He will spread the news, and the Gentiles, those not of the Hebrew blood, will seek him out, and his rest will be glorious. In other words, he will gather the people together, then enjoy their newfound peace. Psalms 22:30 and 31 is Zion 8:4 and 5. A seed shall serve him, and it shall be accounted to the Lord for a generation. They shall come and shall declare his righteousness unto a people that shall be born, that he hath done this. This tells us that this seed is from the Gray. The Gray will use this seed to unite the people of Zion in a generation that has full use of their Gray DNA. It is the third generation of the hippies that are fully able to use their Gray anatomy from birth. And there I'm going to stop for today, and we will start where we left off. May the Gray watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it. Stay happy and high. Know I love you. We'll see you later now, because you know me, love you, but I'll never say goodbye.